let's talk about what Two Rivers was like before you arrived.
Absolutely. And I had known of Two Rivers prior to me becoming a principal there. And this is kind of just the backstory on that piece. I had been in education since 2007. And through that, starting as a para, if you will, I was looking at the educational system. It's like, okay, am I the only one seeing what's happening here? Because it was not serving my youngest children. And so I decided at that point, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get my bachelor's because I'm a high school dropout. So it was a tall order, but I'm going to stay in school. And I was very prayerful on that. I want to make sure I let you know that I was very prayerful. Got my bachelor's in ministries at Northwestern University in Minneapolis in St. Paul. Stayed in school, got my master's in organizational leadership. And then you hear this, and I pray as you pray hard. God said, "Okay, if you get your bachelor's in ministries, I'm gonna let you go as far in education as you want to, even if you're a high school dropout." So I stayed in school. I said, and someone tapped me on the shoulder, say, "Hey, Mr. J, you'd be a great principal." I'm like, "Man, I'm rocking a GED. There's no way I could be a principal." But what they were seeing is my love for children. And I'm like, let me go for it. And so stayed in school, bachelor's, organizational leadership master's, went to Bethel University, got my doctorate in education while also getting my principal licensure.
Wow.
And that was the whole piece. I wanted to become a principal. So now becoming a principal, and I was in a couple of different spaces. I wanted to be closer to my home, which is about 70 miles away from where I was working at the time in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Okay.
There was an opportunity. Henry Sibley High School was looking for a new principal, and I knew of Henry Sibley High School. Okay. It was about 1,400 students. And I'm like, oh, that's a great size. I think I can do good work there. I did my research. And the school had a student killed. And so there was some hurt in the community. There were some videos. You could see that there was some hurt. I watched a video on the way to my interview of their choir director singing a song. This is through COVID. And so everything was on video. I'm like, maybe there's an opportunity for me to do something there. And so when I get down to Henry Sibley, I do the interview and I hear this say, "Hey, this space is in need of a healing." I said, "So Al, this is the job for you." And so I pushed head on. And I told the superintendent this time, I said, I'm like, I want this. I want this really, really bad. And so that was kind of the start. Side note, this school district encompasses West St. Paul, Mendota Heights, third tier suburb, Egan, third tier suburb. There was a lot of affluence in this community. They were also going, and I say Henry Sibley because they were going through a name change to Two Rivers.
Okay.
So they're already trying to re-identify who they were
Sure.
as a school. I come in now as the first African American administrator in school's history, which was founded in 1954.
Wow. Wow.
So
Okay.
that's the backdrop of me coming in
So when you arrived, had they changed the name at that point?
2 weeks before my first day.
Okay, right before your first day. So new principal,
Yeah.
new school name, new identity potentially, but a lot of hurt in the past.
Yes. And that's exactly it. And so when I think of transformational leadership, I really think about, okay, now how can I come in as a servant leader to serve this community that their emotions were all over the place? Fearful because a new person coming in, they hadn't had the greatest experience with the last 7 administrators because they had 7 administrators over a period of time.
Wow.
You throw in COVID and distance learning and everything that comes in there with the political and social unrest of this country. There was a lot coming in. What I found was the best thing that happened for me was the West St. Paul Reader. The West St. Paul Reader said, "This roller skating principal is coming into your school, this guy that roller skates." And in this article that he wrote, everything that I've done, every article that you could find online, every video you could find of me online
They
was
published
put in
all of
this
that.
article and published
Y
all of it. And the community had access to it. It was a blessing because they knew what they were getting. They knew that I wasn't going to be an atypical administrator. I've tried to humanize the position, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to love on people because that's all I talked about. So that was me. That was me coming in.
I love that. I love that, Al. And you know how beautiful that your, I mean, your backstory. I mean, I just make sure I heard that correctly. I mean, you were a high school dropout. You were working as a paraprofessional in a school. You saw that there was a need, and you had a call on your heart to do something about it. And then you started the journey from bachelor's to master's to doctorate, and now full circle, you are the principal of a. You've taken on, and you specifically sought after it because it was hurting and needed healing, and you felt like that was your call to go to be there.
Absolutely. And if people are wondering, how do I know it's a call or not? Well, here's the thing. I was looking at being an administrator in Edina, which is an affluent community. I was looking at being the high school principal of the high school that I dropped out of, coming back as a doctor. Wow,
Wow.
how poetic would that have been?
Wow.
Right? I'm like, yeah, there's a story right in there, and I could ride that forever. But then when you go and you walk in a space, you start talking to people, and then you're quiet from it and you listen. Where should you be? All things alike, all pay the same. Then you hear a call. Okay, this is where I need to be, and this is the assignment. This is the assignment. Bring a people back to a space of being able to breathe again.